Hello to all my loved ones all around the world. How are you today? This is your boy, the writer, G.A. Wilson, coming live and direct, full effect. You know me, how I get down. Baby, I go in all the time. Watch this. I'm about to get it. Today, ladies and gentlemen, my loved ones, I'll be talking about how to write a novel / short story. So are you ready? Let's get it. Okay, the first thing you have to do when you begin to write a novel or a short story, um, you have to write down a summary of what you want your story to be about. Say for instance that you want to talk about um, someone who's got out of high school and they don't know for sure what they want to do with their life, and they begin to work at McDonald's. So they begin working at McDonald's and they start to collect checks, and the money's coming fast, and they start begin to spend their money on material things as watches or clothes and shoes. And in the back of their mind, they are thinking like, man, this is the life that I really want to do. um, I think I should go to college, or what's within me that I really want to do. So this person began to search within and trying to figure out that, hey, it's much more than life than working at McDonald's. I should work on the gift within, or go to college to get something richer and higher in life. Someone like that, you're gonna have to write some kind of summary of what kind of story you're trying to put together. Writing something on paper is the best thing to do, or write it in your computer or your cell phone. Either way, you're gonna have to write some kind of summary. This does not mean when you write the summary that you're gonna put everything all together in the novel / short story. No, that does not mean that. It just means to give you some sort of idea what you want to write about. That's all basically a summary is all about, what you want to write about. I know you guys are asking what's the difference between writing a novel or a short story. Basically, what a novel is, it's a writing of fictional writing. Using your imagination on certain things that's somewhat real, or somewhat your made up stories or made up things. And basically what you are doing, uh, you're putting a introduction, or sometimes you don't need an introduction. You need a beginning, middle, and end. That's basically what a novel is. It's beginning, middle, end. And what is a short story? A short story is, it could be somewhat an introduction, or sometimes it doesn't have to be an introduction. It could be a beginning, cut out the middle, end. That's basically what a short story. I'm giving you my thoughts of what a novel / short story. This is not coming from a self-help book or somebody that went to college for the shit. I'm just giving you my thoughts of what I say what a novel short story is. So you get the point of, a novel is a writing of a fictional work, using your imagination on somewhat some things are real or some things you're making up, and you're trying to put it all together and make sense. It's a beginning, middle, end. Got it? And a short story is a beginning, cut out the middle, end. That's basically what it is to me. That's my idea of what it is. Okay. Afterwards, when you begin to get your summary of what you want to write about, what you believe you want to write about, it could be a chance that you probably say, I don't want to write about this, but it's somewhat you get an idea that you put something on paper or in your computer, which you want to, write about the summary. The next thing you should do, you should put together your main characters. Not to say that you're going to put everything from A to Z of the people you're going to write about, but mainly what's going to happen, you're going to have to put together your main characters. And how I learned how to put characters together, you actually going to have to do a lot of novel reading. That's basically how I had basically learned how to put characters together. Reading a lot of novels. A lot of people that you maybe that you look up to, or people that you just really like how they write. This gives you somewhat an idea how to put the characters together. Also, how I learned how to put characters together. I basically went by my surrounding. Um, in your surrounding can be a whole lot of different personality of different kind of people that you can write about. It doesn't mean it doesn't mean it have to be basically, the overall personality of someone that you know. Because some people, like I was reading in what's the name book, Mary Monroe. She said her book she was writing on, it's a composite of someone that she knew in real life, meaning that she put together this character somewhat in the shape of someone that she knew, but the character is a little bit made up. Somewhat it has the composite of that real person, but overall it's made up. She made up some things to add a little spice to the story. You get what I'm saying? Um, Mainly what you need to do, um, what I have found out, you just have to listen to how people talk. That's how I have found out. Observe. I'm much more observed person. I don't know what kind of person you are, but you're gonna have to observe how people talk, how they act, someone how they sound, and things like that. Use your senses. Because what you want to do, you do not want to put up a superficial character. You want something that's believable. You want something that's real. You want people when they read it be like, that sounds like somebody I know. Oh, this sounds just like Kim. Oh, I'm serious. This sounds just like what Kim would do. You want to be believable characters, and mainly in fictional writing, what many people like about fictional writing, they mainly grab upon the characters and then the story. So your characters are going to have to be on point, my loved ones. The next thing to do, what I have found out the best thing to do when you are writing a novel slash short story, it's best to write notes. From anything to where the location you want to start from, to um, what the certain character is going to be dressing like, or how they are going to talk. They could be talking in a New York accent. They could be talking in a Southern accent, or what's the culture of this character, or do they have Haitian culture in them, or they bilingual, or they mix with something. You're gonna have to put something together, some kind of notes together. Because what it is, I have found out when you begin to put down some sort of notes, it somewhat helps you to put the story together in one. That's what I have found out when you write notes. Have a little pad with you, and while you're looking at your pad, you begin to write. That's what I have found out the best to write notes of anything and everything that comes to your mind, or even ask yourselves, or put it on paper. What's the next way to start the next story? Or should should Kim should Kim be going out of town? Put something together, because what's gonna happen? Your mind, your subconscious will help you to put everything in flow. So it's best to put notes on paper, and it's best to put questions together on paper too, because your mind, your subconscious is going to help you put everything together. Also, what's the next thing when you begin to get ready with your pen and paper, or you writing in your HP computer, or you writing on your iPhone, however you feel comfortable. The first thing that you need to do is know if you're going to write in first place or third place. Let me give you a minute to see what I'm talking about. This is what I mean about first person to third person. Okay, first person is this. I'm gonna give you an example of a novel that's in my hand, called No Strings Attached, from Karen Grace. This right here. And this author is writing in first person. Let me give you an example how she started. I was steaming as I paced back and forth behind the sliding cell door. I was waiting to be released. I couldn't believe the mess I was in, and over a damn man. I had been charged with assault and then thrown in a cage at the 2nd District Police Station in Chicago. So see, it's saying I, and I is much more the first person. Let me give you an example of a third person. And this is book Joy, Victoria Christopher Murray, right here. This book right here. And she usually writes in third person of books. Let me give you an example. The man entered the apartment, secure upper and lower locks, then chained the door. Only then did he feel it was safe to turn on the lights. His eyes adjust to the bare overhead light, and he scanned the concrete gray paint chipped walls, trying to soak up every picture. There were photos of her all over, probably at least 100, if he'd taken the time to count them. One day he would. He stood with his back to the door, admiring his sanctum. Okay, what I have found out, when you begin to figure out if you want to write in first person or third person, you got to figure out what's comfortable to you, or also to what you've been reading. You got to go back to what you've been reading also too. If you haven't always been reading books in first person, it's a chance that you're going to write in first person. If you've been reading books that's in the third person, it's a chance you're going to be writing the third person. The only difference about it, when you write in the first person, what will happen is it's a sense that you are closer. I would say closer. You are, your audience feel much closer to that character. It's like fresh. It's like in your face. That's the best way I can put it. But in a third person, to me, it's like you outside looking in. Like you writing about a person, but you are outside somewhere, mainly giving information about this person inside the house. This is like you looking inside somebody's house, and you tell the whole description or how he or she does things, even giving description of the house, or what he or she wear, what kind of music they listen to. You're just like inside this person's mind or somewhat. That's the best way I can give you the third person. And also much more third person, you you have to be good being a storyteller, because in third person you mainly on your P's and Q's telling a good story. You're gonna have to work very good with your English. That's the best way I can tell you about that. But you would get it. I mean, you figure out what feel comfortable to you. That's the best way I can give you. When you begin to write, I have found out it's really good to meditate. It's just like closing your eyes and breathing in or counting your breath. It's just like stop from thinking. That's basically what meditation to me is. Calming your mind, um, and peace, serenity. And mainly what happened is sometimes when you begin to meditate, thoughts, aspirations, or inspirations, or ideas will come into your mind. So it's really good to begin to meditate before you begin to put words on paper or on the computer. Or you can let your subconscious mind does the work for you. And the best way I can put it as your subconscious mind is, I'm gonna give you an example. Subconscious mind is mainly people, people like writers, artists, actors, inventors, even athletes concentrate much more on their subconscious. It is like you constantly concentrating on words within. Someone within you is basically putting everything together. You yourself is not, I mean, you are the body, right? But your subconscious is within, and you are listening to your subconscious on everything it tells you, and whatever it tells you, you begin to write what it say. I hope you don't think this is crazy nonsense, but that's the best way I can put it when you're using your subconscious mind. And once you begin to start writing your novel or short story, it is always best to finish what you start. I don't care how long it takes. If it if you have to start, if you have a plan that you want to get finished in 6 months and something comes up and you cannot get finished with the book, please go back and finish what you start. That could be a year from now. That could be 2 years from now. I know things come up. We living in a very busy, hectic world now, and people to see and things to go and all these type of things. But it's always best to finish what you start, no matter how long it takes. Please finish what you start. You hear? Please. And when you believe, you like, I'm on my last chapter. Thank you, Jesus. This is it. I did it. Before that, please go back to read what you have written. Because I don't know about you, but no human being is perfect. So what you're going to have to do, you're going to read and see. I have found out the best to read out loud. That's what I have found. So read and see if this stuff make any sense to you. Because sometimes it doesn't, and that is when you're gonna have to edit your stuff and make it sound sensible, make it sound a little bit better. because your first try is never, it's never the perfect try. You're gonna have to read it and see if it sound right, or maybe have to end the story a different way, or change a character, or change a location, or add some people. First time is not the perfect time, so continue with the story until it makes sense. The next thing you need to do then, when you believe you have finished everything, um, reread it over. Like I say, sometimes it's best to reread the story out loud. And then if it makes sense to you after you had did your rough draft, after you had edited some things, put in some things, taken out some things, and you feel like, oh, I believe this is it. Okay, and then just let it be. Okay? I always believe if you feel comfortable, because some people don't feel comfortable of allowing someone else to read what they have written, because many people don't like to be criticized and not respected, because you give somebody your work, and it's a good friend, or maybe it's your loved one, your baby girl, your man, and they begin to read, be like, you sure you want to become a writer? I don't think nobody is not gonna like this, or this shit don't even make no sense. You need to go back doing your day job. Sometimes you need that hard love, and don't let nobody put you down. And when I have first started, I didn't allow nobody to read none of my writing, because I'm very sensitive about what would people say. You know what I'm saying? So the best way I can put it, if you want someone to proofread your writing without being hypocritical, hire someone to proofread your things. Not, don't get nobody that you love, or a good friend, or your uncle, somebody. Hire someone to proofread your work. And if you hire someone, they're gonna be reasonable with you. Okay? And after that, my loved ones, after you have edited, you have proofread the work, you have got somebody else to proofread your work, now you feel like this is it. Now you hire a editor to edit your work. I know that you did your editing personally yourself, and you reread it and it sound perfectly to you, but sometimes you need that extra work from a professional like an editor. And you're gonna have to look around. I mean, never pick the first person. Always go by what you feel about if it's the right person for you to do the editing work. Because when you get someone to edit your work, you want this editor to mainly, help you with your pronunciation, your sentences, your period of question marks, all these type of things. But then what an editor do, they also polish, especially with fictional work, they polish the work and make it sound, and make it much more like a glamorous, make it much more feel like, ooh, wow, I can't even put this book down. But much more, you want someone not to overlap your personality or overlap your writing style. You want someone to collide in and make it one of what body work you have put together. never allow someone to be, like I would say, like a ghostwriter. You want to make it sound like you. So find someone that you feel comfortable working with as an editor, and always make it sound just like how you want it to sound, or the style that you want it to sound like. Okay? I thank you for tuning in, listening to the writer G.A. Wilson had to say today, and I had to talk about how to write a novel / short story. I hope I help you the best way I can about this. This is my personal thoughts, my personal words on this. I didn't look through no book. I'm giving you straightforward information about how I write. Okay? So I hope you take in consideration of what I have given to you and get it together, or putting your book together or your short story and go out there and become someone. Okay, you can do it. I believe in you with all my heart. I know that you can do it because I did it. Make it possible. All right, loved ones. I love you with all my heart. Take care of yourself. Be good. Pick up the pen and paper and start writing. Get it together. Peace and blessings.